Hi all, this is Dr. J at 11 coming to you live, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is fine. It was just a nice day. All the snow that we had yesterday just melted away. And most of my losses also evaporated, as Thursday and Friday were good to me. Most of my losses from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that is. Not most of my losses for the year, because I had a little stock called Geron, had a little mishap. Cost me a big fortune or a little fortune, depending on your outlook. And Oncosec Medical, another disaster. So maybe that's the reason I haven't been talking about biotechs too much. They hurt, especially the Gerons, the Oncosecs. But I got a request from, I think it was Musketeer, and Ben and Adam and others to do a special report on the biotechnology stocks, especially the small cap ones that we've been following together, like Actinium, like Athersys, like CVM, like Oncosec, like Geron. I don't know, I probably left one or two out. Novavax. I'm sorry, I forgot to do BTX. One of you requested, I think it might have been Musketeer. I'll do it the next time, Musketeer. I'm sorry. Just slipped my mind. Okay, maybe it's the lateness of the night. Let's see, it's 8:30 already. For me, that's like the middle of the night in the winter. Ate out tonight with my wife, got home late, so I already did my weekly wrap, and I did promise that I would do a biotech report. So here it is. Here goes. As always, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Sometimes Dr. J has excellent ideas, but follow at your own risk. It would be nice if you subscribe to the channel. Dr. J would appreciate that if you haven't already. Share the link, please. Write comments. I appreciate that. Give me a like. All appreciated very much by yours truly. So let's go to the videotape. By the way, I can summarize all the charts as being one and the same, yucky poo for the biotechs. Today, however, was a comeback day. Even little Advaxis, which was 45 cents, 40, something like that, came back a nickel today. That's another unfortunate one that I lost some money on. I was accumulating it in the 70 cents area and sold off some when I went below the 70 cents, still have a little. So I don't think I included that one in tonight's report either. So I'll have to do that together with Biotime, together with OCX, together with AST and others that you've asked me about at another time. So here goes. What do they all share in common, these little biotechs? Well, they all have great products, potentially great. They all can excite you with the tremendous promise of tremendous cures, and they all need money. They all either go to the public as an ATM, or they do a shelf, or they make a private offering. Dilution, dilution, dilution is what they all have in common. So first, let's look at the Dow Jones just to get a look at the week. It's the only index we're going to look at. I got the weekly on here. Notice back in the 17th of September when the Dow didn't put in a high yet, but it put in a relative high. There was a harami, and the Dow made a new all-time high, but then sold off tremendously. So this bearish harami came after a long uptrend, very meaningful. However, when you come down here, we have a bullish harami, and that seemed to work as well with a Very nice move up the following week. We again have a harami, only this time it's a bearish harami, but it comes after. It does not come after a big run up. Nevertheless, it's a little bit scary because the haramis have been working. So if you go by that, maybe next week is not a good week. However, Dr. J thinks it's up, and away. So let's see how it plays out, notwithstanding these haramis. Geron? Geron. Also, you could look at my weekly recap where I'm very bullish on all the indices. Okay, so Geron was up 2 cents. About 50 years ago, no, make that 60, 70 years ago, before my time, 2-cent plain meant a seltzer. You can buy a seltzer for 2 pennies in the local candy store or luncheonette. It was called a 2-cent plain. How do I know that? Because I don't know how I know that. Probably read it in a book by Harry Golden. Check him out if you want to learn about the good old days when Christopher Columbus came to America. No, I mean more recent than that. When the immigrants of the 1900s came to America. Okay, anyway, Geron. Ooh, all the action has been down here after all the action was up there. Kind of sickening. But you can make money trading Geron between lines. You buy it at around 150 and you sell it at around 185. You short it at 185, you pick it up, you cover your short at about 150. Go long, cover it at 185, go short, cover at 150. You could do that ad infinitum, it looks like. The problem with doing that is I don't like to short biotechs. I don't like to short any stock. So maybe I would do it for the long trade, but I wouldn't touch it for the short trade. Because when you go short, just at that point in time, John Scarlett will announce a European partner that's going to do trials, or who knows what. So some good news will happen as opposed to bad news that'll actually drive the stock up. So I don't want to be in that position. All right, so anyway, can you trade Geron? Yes, you can. Does it have prospects for the future? Yes, it does. We all know that all us Geron longs are still in it because we believe. We believe in the telomerase inhibitor imetelstat. So as an adjuvant or an adjunct to other cures, potential cures like immunotherapy or chemotherapy. So I believe its use is in combination with other drugs. But which other drugs, I don't know. That's for John Scarlett to figure out. Okay, let's go to the next one, Athersys. Athersys is another range-bound stock, only it's been range-bound for 6 months, not a month and a half like Geron. So this has got a tremendous between the lines. The lines being 215 on the upside, 185 on the downside. You could yo-yo around with this ad infinitum. It doesn't look like it's ever going to bust out of this range, but it will. Just that we don't know when, but it will. And when it does, my strong hope, my strong feeling is it will bust out to the upside, please, please. Because I believe in multi-stem. I believe in the fundamentals. The chart doesn't tell me anything about the future because all it tells me is that there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of speculation between the lines. Doesn't tell me much, does it? Okay, so the question is, will Gil Van Brocklin, CEO of Athersys, steer Athersys into the promised land? He promised, not promised, his goal is is that Athersys should be the next Cel-sci. It's my goal too. It's every long-term shareholder's goal that Athersys should be the next Cel-sci. From 2 to 100. You hear that, Gil? From 2 to 100. Okay, let's get approval in Japan of a metal step, and then we're off to the races. Oncosec Medical. Oncosec is another disappointment. They had stellar results that they reported at the SITC Immunotherapy Cancer Conference just recently, and on that news, it plunged. Go figure. I'm telling you, that news was good news. No matter how you interpret it, it's good news. At least I interpret it that way. The only thing really putting a damper on the stock, in my opinion, is the dilution. They keep needing to raise money, keep offering shares, whether it be an ATM or shelf, whatever. Excuse me, I need a little water break. So Oncosec Medical, I believe in Oncosec Medical. Come to a little triangle here. It's going to bust out one way or the other. It has to. But it's not a very decisive looking triangle. It came from a low of, I don't know, 68 cents. I mean, even if it busts out, it may only bust out a few pennies to the upside. It's not going to challenge that dollar for a while, I don't think. This was a typical dead cat bounce we had. So I think we're in for a longer period of consolidation. I do think we take that dollar out, and I do think we go right back up to the $1.16 level and above. But the timeline, I couldn't tell you. Maybe a while. I do believe in the product that they have a combination therapy with Keytruda that looks very promising. So CVM, I believe in it. Not CVM, Oncosec, I believe in it. I believe in CVM too. Oncosec has a unique delivery system as well, using electroporation, subcutaneous delivery system. CVM, Cel-sci, and that doesn't mean cell, it means CEL as in cell. Okay, what have we here? We have a solid wall at the 50% retrace, which is at 262. So we have a solid support at that level. It closed above 3 today. Nice move of a quarter, 9%. A lot of biotechs popped today. Another sign that we're done with the bull. I mean, that we're done with the bear and we're on with the bull. When they start buying these little small cap micro caps, you know, it's all the speculators are coming back in and snatching up bargains. I think this one is a bargain. They were awaiting results probably first quarter, first half of 19 on head and neck cancer, a huge trial. So, you know, depending on the data readout, it's going to zoom or not. Actinium. Yucky Poo, one of my larger little small cap holdings, I'm also getting creamed on. Similar reasons. Everything looks very promising, but dilution. And how much can you dilute from 70 cents You dilute enough, you're down to 35 cents. And that might be where it's heading. I hope not. I hope that we hold right here at about 45 cents. But that's my hope. I'm not sure that we will. We'll just have to wait and see. One good thing is that it has very nice results, and I think the ASH presentation may help. So we'll take a look and see how it goes. They have a new indication for the IOMAB B together with to treat MDS, another blood-borne cancer. So they're expanding the indications. They're also going into immunotherapy as well as pre-treatment for bone marrow. They got 1 million irons in the fire, maybe too many. But it's an exciting company. You can't help but want to own a little of it. I probably own too much of it. Novavax. Here's one that Ben and Adam keep asking me about. I don't know. It's made a series of lower highs, 3 of them, lower lows, 3 of them. We need to break that pattern. It's clearly a negative, clearly a bearish formation. But that could change quick enough if it makes a close above the high on 11.2 of 202. It's not impossible, just a little improbable, at least in the short term. It might take, to get up there, it might take another couple of weeks of trading. But I think it might be heading in that direction. So let's hope. Let's hope we can finally get a new high. It's a maker of vaccines. I forget which vaccine they're working on, the latest one. I know it has a lot of promise. I talked about it the last time. But maybe it's the lateness of the hour. I'm getting tired. I don't remember exactly the indication. Maybe it'll come back to me. But you can leave a comment and remind me. What else? BTX will do the next time. OCX will do the next time. And some others that you've been requesting. What else did I say I forgot to do? There was one other one. I don't remember. Well, in any event, I think we covered most of the usual suspects. And the theme is exciting, really breakthrough therapies await us. The problem is money, money, money. And the only way they can bring these drugs to market most of the time is either dilution or offering more shares or partnering and just taking a royalty. In any event, there's still money to be made on these small biotechs if you're in the right one. Just recently, Amarin ran from like literally pennies to $12 to $24, now back to $18, something like that. So it can be done. I was in one that ran like that as well. And occasionally you hit them. Have a good one. This has been my pleasure to talk to you about biotechnology stocks. This is Dr. J signing off from Long Island, New York. Don't forget to subscribe. Sayonara.